South Carolina is abuzz with a unique and compassionate organization rooted in educating and creating a world sensitive to a neurodivergent community. Let's welcome Layla Luna, founder and CEO of Just Be. It's not every day I get to say my own name, so Layla, it's great to have you here with us.
Well, thank you, Layla.
And the word that I use, neurodivergent, maybe you can explain to our audience what that means.
It's just the way the brain is mapped, the brain wiring. Sometimes individuals that are on the spectrum, whether they're autistic or even dyslexic or ADHD or have Down syndrome, the brain wiring is different. So the whole thing about Just Be is celebrating brain differences. People that think outside of the box, things that would be easy for some individuals would be so hard for someone that is on the spectrum, whether it's like even tying their shoes. They might not be able to tie their shoes, but yet they're savants in math.
Yeah, right.
So the spectrum is huge, and we gotta just understand that our brains collectively can be different, and that's okay.
And something to celebrate, quite
100%.
frankly. So tell us about the mission behind Just Be and why you founded this organization.
Oh, well, the mission is because of my son. My son Rio is 15 years old, nonverbal. He was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder at 2.5. And at that time, there was no one. I mean, it was Rain Man. I'd never heard of autism. I was the only person with an autistic child. I had to go on this journey of discovery of, like, what does that mean? And I would try to go out in public, and I would try to put him in certain preschools or classes, and we just didn't fit in. We were just always on the side, and it was really hard.
How did he react to those situations?
Oh, he was very isolated. As a mother, you want to protect.
Sure, of course.
And at the time, I would try to let people know he's autistic, and they would say, "Oh, he's an artist." I'm like, "Well,
yeah,
kinda."
Right. But autistic wasn't part of the vernacular as it is today.
Nothing. It was, I want to say in 2010 when he was diagnosed, it was probably 1 in 157 individuals that were being diagnosed with the spectrum. Now we're at 1 in 36.
Isn't that incredible? And the spectrum, they call it a spectrum for a reason, because they're across all abilities and nuances to those particular diagnoses. And your son being nonverbal at 15, so what is he able to participate in? What is he able to do to be part of the community as a whole?
Well, Rio, unfortunately, it is hard for him because he has an isolated lifestyle. The main mission behind Just Be was, after we got over the diagnosis, just one night in 2018, it wasn't here, it wasn't in South Carolina, I took my son and his daughter to a pizza restaurant, local pizza restaurant, place I've been many times, but on that particular night, it just took forever to get seated, to get the pizza, to get the check, and he had a sensory overload meltdown, so he starts screaming, crying, and banging his head, and the people just started yelling at me to control my kid, what kind of mother am I, and that he was a brat, and they kicked us out of the restaurant.
Oh, goodness.
And it was in that moment that I was like, why can't people just be nice? Why can't they just be kind? Why can't they understand he's autistic? And as I went home completely defeated, I woke up the next day and thought, well, what if that place had known he was autistic? What if they were trained in autism? Or what if they had just seated us right away? And that's the mission behind Just Be. Hopefully through Just Be's mission, they'll start saying, I wonder if that child's on the spectrum. I wonder if that parent needs help. And through that mission is where I met Mayor Haney in Mount Pleasant, and I spoke to him. I introduced him. I'm just a mom, a mom on a mission.
A mom on a mission who's also created an app, by the way. So tell us about the app real quick.
It's just going to be like the Yelp of autism. So what we want to do is we want to take the business side of it. Most autistic individuals, the education awareness is early diagnosis. Well, Rio's 15. I'm aware. He's autistic. I got it. Now what? Now I want to push for that quality of life. And that means for these families to be able to go out in public, to be able to have the same quality of life as every other kid. So I kind of came in as a business, through the businesses, through revenue, fiscally. If most businesses do have downtime, they have slower hours of operation, those hours could be filled with the Just Be, putting the symbol in the window. So what a business has to do is it has to go to our website, has to take the training curriculum, which was designed by one of the leading doctors in our field, Dr. Diane Cooley. Once a business has taken the training, got their certificate, then they take a pledge, they go onto the app, and then they can post like, You know, we have sensory-friendly hours on Tuesdays from 2 to 4.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yes, or
That's a
they're going to
great
give
idea.
a discount, or you don't have to wait in line. And so
That's incredible.
families like myself, we know firsthand,
Yeah.
if pizza's pizza and the
Right.
power of the pocketbook, then we're only going to go to places that are welcoming to our community.
Absolutely. And you also have a proposal that is in the hands of legislation right now, and this is to put possibly a B sign on someone's driver's license or on their license plate, so that if they get pulled over, that the police are aware, law enforcement is aware that that person could be sensitive to lights and sound and all of that stuff. So you are one busy lady. But when we return, Taylor Miller, she shares more about the partnership between Just Be and Mount Pleasant, shedding light on their newest groundbreaking project. We'll be right back.